Let's go indeed as we break into our second to the last match of the day. Day number 2 almost closed out here in Vitality, looking to come in with a back-to-back chicken dinner, propel themselves even further up the leaderboards.
I know we told ourselves that we should avoid talking about the
the
plane, but unless it's really bad, and this is one of those ones that it is really, 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 really bad.
Yes, especially given how many teams kind of favor that Gadka, Pachinki, Georgia Bowl, that West Coast area. Certainly going to see some shifts already as we see teams departing over near Stalber, maybe making a play for Severny, most likely for Beşiktaş.
They're going to Stalber right now. PG-18 are going to Kameshki just around them. Quickmath should be able to fly to Severny pretty easily, but this is going to throw what I'm looking to see. We're probably going to see a couple more teams go to an off position as well.
And then down here on Military Island, looks like no tag team going to at least be scouting out. And then one member of GamerLegion going to be parachuting down there towards Sosnovka as well, now crossing back over the channel towards the northern side of things. Just picking up some information, but the question remains, because no tag team going to be going over towards the ferry pier as well. Who's going to be able to land first? Will someone find a gun? And could we even see our first blood popping off here in the first few minutes of the game?
I actually think all the teams landing outside of the northern teams, PG-18 and Beşiktaş, were able to scout each other well enough to not land on top of each other. But oh, this circle to open everything. We finally get a military circle, or at least we suspect it's a military circle. There is still the possibility that it could swing up north, and that possibility is going to be in the back of everyone's minds when they choose to rotate either onto the island or stay off and play for the secondary, tertiary circles.
I mean, hell, Cameron, I think this could go likely either way. Certainly, it's definitely favored down towards the south, but if we see hard shift in phase number 2 and even another hard shift in phase number 3, it's going to be a given as to where it lies. And this is going to be in the backs of the heads of these teams as they start to make their way into these power positions. No tag, going to waste no time at all.
Yeah, they're immediately.
Eros going to be, I mean, here's the thing. It's kind of a reverse Sosnovka play. Sending Eros across, he's going to be able to scout out any teams trying to hold on to the crossroads first and then pull your other teammates back down. They're going to be picking up if you loot the other 3 teammates of this no-tag squad, but an aggressive push, a necessary push coming out from the Ferry Pier squad.
Yeah, it's actually really good for them because you could see Deep was actually trying to push up to where Eros actually landed first, so they just barely able to snag away some sort of control on that island away from Northern Lights, but they're not sending the entire squad. They're leaving 2 people around Ferry Pier to loot up there and then join them afterwards. It's a low concentration of loot in the area that they're trying to control over, and so they're trying to be as efficient as possible with the early minutes of the game.
And it even goes further than just loot. It's also information as to any other early rotations that could come across that centralized bridge in phase number 1. But Cameron, I want to talk about Zoekt and Naam for a little bit. We saw them looting up in Pachinki. I mean, what's going on with this squad? They were so dominant here in at least the first day of gameplay, but they've fallen so far from grace.
I don't think that they're performing, like, terribly terrible.
Right.
It's just not to the par that they had set up after the first day. But when you have 20 games, you're allowed to have a couple of sort of mediocre games. They're still in fifth place, right?
Yes.
Now, there is a little bit of a gap growing. I believe it was around 8 points between 4th and 5th place, but that's not insurmountable. I don't think we should be worried about them too much. It's more just being disappointed that we're not seeing the same exciting gameplay from them.
Exactly. You set the bar high. Well, you don't want to be going under it in future days. Team, well, at least Tornado Energy going to be making their rotation out of Milta. And the question becomes, do they cross down to Sosnovka over on this eastern bridge where they should expect that Unity is going to be in play over on that Novo side of thing? Or do they try to go over, maybe play the southern coast of the main part of Erangel?
I don't know. But you raise a point that why are Unity not camping that bridge just yet?
Oh, I know. And Unity's a squad that needs points, right?
Yeah.
They could gain so much from just a few kill points.
That's a missed opportunity. So you don't camp the bridge directly, but basically, right below the bridge, there's a full compound where a couple of roads all intersect. Just hold that. But Tornado Energy, they seem to know that it is wide open. They're just sending the entire squad across in a pact.
And that takes a lot of kind of pressure off of Tornado Energy in making this play. It's going to be a free rotation down to what's looking like it could be the setting, the landscape for the mid to late game. But again, we are still yet to see whether or not this is going to be confirmed down to the south or confirmed up towards the north, as Riddle Esports going to be crossed in their faces by the likes of Vitality. A few shots coming out, but Riddle Esports piling back into their vehicles to continue on this rotation. They sit on the northeastern side of the edge of phase number 1. and have to make that decision as well. A lot of teams going to have to kind of hedge their bets here, Cameron.
Yeah, Riddle Esports, with that pressure, they do force Vitality away, and they also saw Tornado Energy cross that bridge. So they know that with the team ahead of them, clearing the path for them, they can push themselves quite easily, quite openly. They're probably going to have someone stop at the north part of the bridge to scout down to see if there are any scopes pointed back in their direction, but they can basically just follow in the footsteps of the previous team.
So we've talked about some of the short rotations that have to be made by the likes of Zoekt and Naam, Reciprocity, etc. Maybe now we can talk about some of the farthest rotations that you can see on the right-hand side of your screen. The members of Quickmath still going to be up in Severny as the blue zone makes its way towards the south. The members of PEG-18 also rotating off of that southern Kameshki area. Going to be taking that far northeastern bend, and they're going to be likely crossing the pass of Quickmath here shortly.
You also got, of course, Ferrari Breach in a boat, or at least only 2 of the members are here. The other 2 are actually still around the Milta Power area, but they're going to try and swing in around Novo. If you're finding a boat, it's a good idea to use it to avoid the chaos that can be at the bridges. But the flip side is that you get there a lot slower. And it's also not the easiest to scout the island from the water.
Shots coming out. Vitality trying to find some tags onto AVANGAR, who is also going the aquatic vehicle route. Token, his teammate, trying to bob and weave through the waves to avoid the lead being slung in their direction. And it looks like they've got the distance, almost approaching the coastal region of Novo to make that landing. Unity having exodus out of this area. They find themselves now on the far southwestern edge. It's going to be open, but Reciprocity remains, at least on the northern side. They're going to be holding on to the cliffs, and this is the position that I was looking to see if any teams were going to capitalize on.
Yeah, them, Zoekt and Naam, and it looks like 7 as well, actually aren't committing to cross it just yet. They're just going to be holding an area for them to potentially transition through, but they don't want to take the risky decision, risky cross, risky movement until they're forced to by the circle. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that play, though, and actually, because of that, it looks like Reciprocity, they only use that position to scout ahead. They're now sending their vehicles into the water to get a head start on the full swim that Desperados had just taken a couple of minutes before. Yeah,
definitely, but like you were saying, Cameron, I'm not necessarily a fan of that position either. It's great for a scout, and if you send it immediately after, making sure it's clear to approach that wide open coastal region where the rec pack will be pulling up, well, that's definitely the play to make. Tornado Energy continues, though, on here. They're on the southern part of Sosnovka Island, heading over towards the east, directly into the caravan of Riddle Esports. Both going to be trying to fight for this compound, as the crash is likely going to be coming out, or possibly Riddle even pulling off entirely as they see the members of Tornado Energy stake their claim.
Looking at the map, it looks like they are pulling off, or at least that first player is. He doesn't want to overextend himself and push in solo, just going to be taking the fence side of just the southern end of military base. Zoekt and Naam, they held position on the north part of the bridge, and they actually still have 2 members there. So when they scouted out and they were there long enough to recognize that no one was full committing onto the southern side, they're actually taking full control of this bridge. And this could be very impactful no matter where the circle goes, because we know that as a fact, but they should also suspect that there are teams that still have yet to cross, the teams that are coming all the way up from the far north, Beşiktaş, PG-18, and Quickmath.
13 of our 16 teams have put their eggs all in the Sosnovka Island basket for the Phase 2 shift that is about to come out here in about 35 to 40 seconds time, but still on that aquatic rotation. Now in the blue zone, rotating around the far southern bend of Sosnovka. Typically a safe rotation to make. Given how many teams, though, have opted for that southern side of Sosnovka Island, Cameron, it could be a little bit difficult for Ferrari Breachers to find a place to call home.
You can see everyone just trying to avoid the actual military base part of Military Island because it acts as a city where it's easy to get in, but it is not necessarily easy to get out safely. There's a hill on the west side that everyone's trying to center on, and oh, this plays kind of well into a lot of teams, but the issue is that the amount of water is still a significant amount. Only about half of the circle is playable, and if you ignore the part of the main island that has such a slim part of being in the next circle, we only have a third of this circle that is actually playable, arguably only a quarter of it, which means that teams are going to want to pop off now so they can secure those points before they rub shoulders with the next squad.
Well, it might not even be a question of having to. They might be forced to. With 16 teams still alive and only 1 player dropping out of the game in this small of a circle, as you are seeing now, the shots will be coming out. Teams are going to not be able to avoid each other no matter how hard they try. Riddle Esports in that rotation trying to find a place to call home are going to be losing casualties. Hannibro going down and out as Zinsen and Hort trying to follow up in that caravan, but it's the exact same path where they met their demise earlier on, and Unity going to be capitalized on. That's going to be a nice double kill, or rather a knock in the flesh coming out. Clib gets dropped down. Recrit and Orange Snow working in tandem to drop that player of Riddle out. Zenson continues on. Hort going to be very separated from his other teammate. And it almost comes into both of these players just trying to stay alive here. Neither of them wanting to go out and then risk their squad being eliminated in 16th place.
I mean, this is a maneuver that you expect to see on like Circle 5, Circle 6.
Yeah, not Phase 2.
Yeah, exactly. That just shows just how little room there is for a lot of these teams to play around. They just bombed ahead. I don't know. I don't know if that was the only decision that they could make. They probably could have made a slower wrap, maybe perhaps try and slowly aggress onto a squad and steal their position instead of just trying to race to the center.
It was a play of desperation.
Yeah.
It definitely felt like it. It didn't seem like that was what they would have done if they had other opportunities.
Beşiktaş are going to be arriving on the cliffside, should be able to climb up that lip. Vitality also coming in, able to make their way in from the eastern side and steal the southwest corner of the military base.
AVANGAR going to be under pressure here from Tornado Energy as they continue on. Inactive able to dodge the bullets for now, but his vehicle certainly soaking a lot of lead. Pulling off here with Toke, they're going to have a bit of a vehicle for it to work off on the southwestern cliffs of this Sosnovka Island circle that at least we're looking at right now. PG-18 is still one squad out of two that needs to make that rotation. Quickmath around the far eastern bridge going to be coming down just now as members of Ferrari Breach are still in that aquatic vehicle. That boat has not been able to make coastal landfall, and that's going to be a huge disaster as the boat explodes. And along with it, 3 of the members of the Ferrari Breachers. One left, Oko, trying to stay alive, but AVANGAR is definitely going to be looking down in this direction. Unity as well.
Blaston may not be aware that there's a fourth survivor, because when you go up in a vehicle, you instantly die, and so there's no clue that there's going to be someone remaining with the down but not out timers. And he's actually not looking down there at all because he's distracted by Vanguard, Azrin getting dangerously close to him as well. And so that may give Oko an opportunity to find something. It's going to be a hard game for him to continue to play out. I'm not even certain if if he can even climb up that cliff that he landed on. But you know, that lack of information for Unity may give him at least a small opportunity.
It certainly could. The members of Desperado over here holding onto the hillside just across the road for the members of No Tag Team and Northern Lights. A few shots of pressure coming out from that direction. And as you can see now, landing on the shores of Primorsk will be the members of PG-18 just before this third phase shift. Cameron, it's coming out, and there it goes. A little bit off center, favored over towards the east, but guaranteed going to be a Sosnovka Island finish. PG-18 has to make the rotation. And then you see the members of Quickmath still in the blue zone in phase number 3, rotating all the way off of that Severny location.
So the circle ended up going a little toward the right, as you said. But as far as where the playable area is, it was a shift over towards the west. A lot of teams are already inside still. There is still that really impactful hill west of military base in play. But Tornado Energy also holding position, trying to jump themselves, leapfrog themselves into the circle and deal damage to a Vanguard at the same time.
Rotations coming back out from a Vanguard from the direction of whence they came as they start to rotate around the southeast, taking pressure here from Tornado Energy, who has 2 other players currently bleeding out under fire from a 4-stack of Unity just to the northwest of their current position. Need to be careful here, just a small bit of defilade keeping their knocked member alive.
Trying to send the shots through into the smoke, hoping that a small scalp is peeking over. But Unity have a good, they're a good spot to get a couple of points if they can get more kills on Tornado Energy. And everyone else coming in from the eastern side, I'm worried that we haven't seen a lot of action happening just yet.
Well, we haven't. I mean, that's the thing. 16 teams still remaining. This is a lot of squads still competing for a very small area.
Only 6 deaths total.
Yeah,
and now 7.
And half of those were pretty much the members of Ferrari Breachers in the boat.
Oh,
AVANGAR
Shadow!
Taking casualties. Vitality starting to light up the kill feed as he finds the knock and the flush onto Inactive. Another member of AVANGAR, a different team side, is Blaston. Tries to spray down.
Go for the barrel kill!
Oh, tries for it. Not going to be able to get it. And Shadow almost came in with a huge play. Riddle Esports will be our first team, though, to be eliminated as AVANGAR continues to hold on to this hillside.
Kramer got 1. He knocked 1. The kill was stolen, but he almost made it really, really rough for AVANGAR. But you can see just how in shambles they are. They didn't go for the fight when they were in a group. And so they drove around, tried to avoid it, but by doing so, they put themselves basically one at a time going into the danger zone. When the circle gives you this little play area, it's going to be more populated early on.
Quickmath going to continue to face off against obstacles. This example finds a nice headshot tag with the Mini 14 onto Mize. And with the blue zone in phase 3, not doing that minimal damage. Those grenades are going to come in and could spell disaster as Pelt's going to be knocked down as well. The kill confirmed coming in onto Mize, and the follow-up nades will be sealing the fate, at least of those members of Quickmath. PG-18 going to be dumping their boat on the southern edge of the circle, making the swim as Vitality tries to reposition into that Grandma's compound on the southwestern side of Sosnovka military base.
Got a little bit of damage on a Tornado Energy, but still no knock just yet. They're not comfortable inside the circle, but neither are Vitality. Able to get into a house that is inside the edge, but it's not a lot of room to play around, and trying to leave that house, trying to cross that road is going to be very, very difficult. Quickmath, it's not easy for them either, and Zelenskig's taken down. There's only one left.
Only one left, and he's still far off of the blue zone in the vehicle, trying to make the rotation. You saw it in the distance. The next phase shifts over far towards the east. The hard shift away from water, as to be expected at this stage in the game. But no one plays off of that central position except for GamerLegion, who is starting to light up the kill feed. Slowly but surely onto Tornado Energy, who's getting ripped apart by 3 different squads right now. Vitality looking their direction, Unity looking their direction, GamerLegion looking their direction, and they are taking casualties. Only going to be left with Example to try to hold on here as Tuho Juho tries to do the exact same thing, the solo player for Quickmath.
Just trying to bomb in, trying to find some place, but we saw what happened to AVANGAR. And Vitality, they're in the middle of their own transition, so they're not in the perfect position, perfect timing to try and punish that vehicle driving past. And so Tuho Juho is alive at least for a couple of more moments. He's actually going to stop before he pushes dangerous close to GamerLegion.
Gets the smoke out, trying to recover a little bit of that HP before deciding where to move on from here. Just past the 16-minute mark of this game. And Orange Snow from Unity going to be connected on. Nice shot coming out from the Breachers, and Oko able to find it. The solo player, the survivor of the aquatic explosion, will be at least making an impact here in the mid to late game. Nades coming out, trying to find their connection onto Recurrent, sitting him back inside of the single-story red. But his position is exposed. He's got to try to at least maneuver this rock, trying to find a new angle onto the members of Unity, or possibly disengage because the pressure is being deployed. And that's a lot. That's certainly a lot being utilized.
Okay, he should be able to climb up on that lip, or at least he got up somehow, so he should be okay. But the blue is closing in on him. He's having to met up while he can. But once again, lack of information. Unity don't know that he fell, and so they're going to be stuck worrying about him instead of getting to the circle themselves. So he's just making their life a living hell. Tuho Juho is continuously having to drop smokes so he doesn't get taken down by Vitality.
Yeah, his US isn't really positioned in the best spot for cover. There's really no position that is going to have lines of sight from the north onto him, so I would like to see a reposition of that vehicle to block the shots of Vitality, as Beşiktaş now finds themselves under fire, not coming out onto Tamil. From GamerLegion, again, Beşiktaş kind of falling from grace as well here today. After the first game of the day, have had a bit of a tough performance, at least in these Erangel matches. We'll see if they can pick something up, as Tamil will be flushed out of the game. Unity picking up kill after kill after kill. It seems like they've been the most pressured team down here on Sosnovka.
Zoekt and Naam, they have a crate that landed a little bit off in the distance, but it's in the water, and the blue is already closing, so I wouldn't suggest going for that one. And they actually have Reciprocity, who's been slowly sneaking up onto them, but GamerLegion, only 2 kills, but they're still in the center on top of a hilltop, and so they can collect many, many more. Oko still dealing a bunch of damage to Unity, trying to be a nuisance, trying to be annoying, and PG-18 are also coming in as well. They had Cross recently climbing up on the cliffside.
And here's the thing, Unity is all but forgotten about
He's in the
Ferrari
building.
Breach. They've had to send their attention over towards the members of PG-18, where they were able to find the knock onto at least one of those players, and now Ferrari Breach has made their way into the building. Don't think it's going to be safe for too much longer. Shots come out on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen as PG-18 continues to take casualties. Bjorn going to be able to find that, and Blast on. Able to find the remaining kill on to the Ferrari Breachers. Out they go in 15th place position. 14 teams remaining as Reciprocity now starts to clash with the likes of Desperados on the hillside. Nice M24 shot will be finding its connection.
And Zoekt and Naam, who are actually spread out and try to take more central position from the position, and are actually able to surround Desperados and Reciprocity. But Unity, now that they've taken care of the solo player being such a nuisance, they're able to spread out and get inside the circle just in time for it to close. They still have a vehicle, but the tires are exposed, and now 2 of them are removed by GamerLegion, and it's going to be a rough run for them because the circle shifted up towards the north.
That far northern shift going to spell disaster for many of the teams trying to just survive on the southern side of the previous phase. Desperados and Zoekt and Naam going to be clashing. Coldamenta connected on and flushed out of the game. Desperados working off of a man disadvantage as they go up against the likes of Reciprocity still too. Raffi and the rest of the crew still pounding shots in this direction. The Shiv is able to find a connection with the Scar onto Calvin Klein. The knock of the flush comes in and T-Bone gets spotted out. Zoekt and Naam is going to be the next target in the sights of Reciprocity.
Rec with a nice split right now, trying to go aggressive, as well as get position in the circle at the same time. And we've seen them actually do really good with splits, as well as a couple of moments of them doing not so well. But example, another solo player making it really difficult for a full squad, and he's got a couple of kills so far. He's about to die to the blue, but he tore a whole chunk out of Vitality, leaving just Nasus alive.
I mean, you get a kill and a flush onto both Kramer and Jazz as a solo player. Example is doing just what he needed to do at that stage in the game to maximize their points from this match. Beşiktaş Esports end up falling 13th place position here in game number 4 of the day. 12 remain. And still trying to work their way down from the south up towards the north is going to be AVANGAR and Unity. A Unity taking casualty after casualty as Blaston going to be knocked down and flush. One still bleeding out for Unity, and GamerLegion is going to be looking on here. Diaz down in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, trying to be as sneaky as possible, trying to advance his position, but so is Tizerin. Tizerin going to be spotted out. Shots coming in off of the right side of the tree, and out goes Unity in 11th place.
I'm surprised that Diaz is still alive, solo player from PG18. But GamerLegion, it looked a little rough for them with the push from multiple squads, albeit solo players, onto their position, but they're able to control their space, able to keep 4 up, and now they can set their sights onto the rest of the circle with the blue closing in, basically being the final nail into, well, I guess the coffin of their map control. The analogy doesn't work out, okay?
Yeah, it works for me. Okay, bro, Northern Lights able to find the game-ending frag onto Vitality. PG18 going out in 9th place thereafter. Top 8 going to be secured here. Placement points to be had as Desperados go out with a big headshot. That head's flying across Erangel right now as Shib picks up another M24 kill onto Fake. Quickmath Juho solo player trying to make that effort out of the blue zone. Not going to be able to do so. Out they go in 7th place position as Northern Lights start to at least approach down on the south towards the members of GamerLegion. But you can see just how chaotic this circle is, especially on the northwestern side of things, where Zoekt and Naam still in a kind of 3-way engagement with both Seven and Reciprocity pinched in between these two squads.
Look at the amount of control that Reciprocity and Zen have each been slowly grabbing parallel to each other, and this gives a big advantage to Reciprocity. If they can get to the top of this hill before Zoekt and Naam without taking too much damage, they can keep them pressured out. The compounds to the east that No Tag are controlling, they don't have super pressure onto that hilltop. They're going to be safe themselves, but it's a lot more of a defensive position. Reciprocity actually have the priority on getting like the power position to get the kills and to get the points.
So you mentioned these compounds, Cameron. I'm definitely going to be interested to see if Northern Lights pushes into the likes of No Tag Team. But over back on the western side of things, Seven is just trying to get inside of this phase of the game, and they've got to do something to at least get a window of opportunity on a Zoekt and Naam. 2-2 split for that squad. 2 members of Zoekt and Naam currently outside of the zone, 2 inside, but Edelweiss continues to look on. Going to be spotting a crate. Can't get baited into pulling off of this. There are definitely going to be a lot of eyes, specifically from GamerLegion, looking down from the hills.
You can just see the sort of footsie game, the tug and the push and pull that all these teams are having to do while they not only try and get kills on each other, but also push their own team up on that hill when there's very limited cover.
Quizzy trying to push out, was taking fire from the members of GamerLegion, but the quick fire comes back from Perfect and Deep, and they're able to find Mac and Dark. However, quickly going to be traded back as Vex finds the Scar shots onto Perfect from behind the tree. 1 for 1 as it stands. Still going to be 3 alive, though.
Good shots.
The members of GamerLegion. 6 teams, 22 at this stage in the game, just approaching the 24-minute mark of the match, and GamerLegion finds himself outside of the circle. Blue zone approaching, specifically faster from the south, one of the wider edges of this zone, and GamerLegion has to advance about 75 meters up towards the north.
They're hoping to actually get a couple more downs onto Northern Lights, and that was an ambitious nade that we saw thrown at the very end, because they got to push in and have the blue basically forcing them in. But No Tag Team, with the spread that they've got for themselves on this compound, have a huge opportunity laid in front of them.
They've got the members of Northern Lights so pinned, but Seven also has the pin down onto the members of GamerLegion. But now Jupezic pops off, able to find the first frag onto Quizzy. Out he goes with the M416 headshot, and GamerLegion is quickly going to be exiting out of this game in 6th place as Seven just blows them up in the kill feed. Northern Lights now trying to recover. The res going to be attempted here onto Quizzy, but Jupezic and the rest of No Tag Team are going to be slowly but surely pushing up. Nades prep from Jupezic, who will be playing the point position.
Trying to throw the nades in, they're not going to land. With GamerLegion, you saw when they weren't able to get the opportunity to push into Northern Lights' position, they got forced instead into Seven's position. So that just shows how important it is to get those opening frags to be able to take the fights that you want rather than the ones that you absolutely want to avoid.
Next phase shift going to be coming out right now. It shifts a little bit over to the east off of the previous circle central point. Still going to be heavily favoring the compounds held by No Tag Team. However, Reciprocity in a position to absolutely rip through. Zoekt and Naam here, but Paige trying to at least put up some resistance, trying to stay alive. Ioval prepping the nades to try to throw some pressure over towards the Rec Pack because they also have to worry about this west or eastern rather rotation into phase number 7. 30 seconds on the clock until the blue zone will work its way in. And Zoekt and Naam is trying to do something. 7, though, third partying onto this shift, going to be knocked down from a distance.
This is really good for Zoekt and Naam. They may be on the low ground, they may be in between two squads, but 7's attention, at least, well, it was all on Reciprocity.
Yeah.
Right when I say that, they have their eyes set on the free targets in the valley, and that's just Ivol left standing for Zoekt and Naam. And this gives an opportunity for Reciprocity to get the revives and to push closer into the circle and take that hill and beat 7 there. So 7, they're collecting a lot of points, but they're giving up priority in the circle for later.
And Scoom already going to be kicking that off, picking up 1 now, and now 2 as he finds the connection onto Edelweiss with the SLR shots. Crab now fighting off against Ivol will be taken down to about 18% HP as he lobs the grenade down in that direction. Northern Lights go down and out to the members of No Tag Team from the eastern side. That's going to be the east coast position, rather eastern position of this phase secured. As Zoekt and Naam's Ivol continues to at least push up the hill because 7, they just got eliminated in tandem between Reciprocity and No Tag Team. Now going to be left with 3 teams alive, a solo player for Zoekt and Naam. They've been able to make it to their farthest placement of today. Absolutely huge performance, only 2 kills, but the necessary points that they need to start accumulating.
Reciprocity, they know that there's a solo from Zoekt and Naam left, and this means that they can't safely and comfortably. Well, okay, now that they've taken care of him, now they can look towards the circle. But I was worried that No Tag were actually going to take that advantage themselves and get out of the compound and get closer towards the center. But they weren't fully aware. There's 8 alive. You can never be confident, even when you have 4, that the other 4 remaining are all in the same squad. But now they saw the kill happen, the kill feed. It's 8 left. Their Jupazik and Eros have started to really push out, leaving O'Connell and Givett up on the corners to watch for any sort of flanks or snakes.
Yeah, Reciprocity not really in a position to play position. That hillside could be a little bit difficult for them to take the peaks into the faces of No Tag Team, who have made that aggressive push to choke off at least half of phase number 8. 40 seconds on the board until the blue zone will start to shrink in. Shouldn't be any worry for Reciprocity making their way in, but the flank is coming out. 3 members swooping down to the southwest, possibly trying to find an entry, possibly trying to find a flank onto Jupezic and Eros.
Both squads actually have solos in the north, trios down in the south side. But the sneaky sort of walk from No Tag may catch Reciprocity off guard. They don't want to give anything away, and they've actually pushed themselves closer, to hold the line of scrimmage towards Reciprocity's edge, which gives them more control once we hit this final shift.
Eros and Jupezic continue to hold the hillside, but Haxete is jumping in the distance. You could narrowly see his head over the horizon. Eros did not spot it out just yet.
Good
shot! And that's going to be Shiv once again. Such an impact player for the Rec Pack, able to come in with the M24 headshot. I believe his 3rd or 4th of this game, and he kicks off this engagement. They've got the advantage, 4v3. Nades coming in, trying to knock out and flush and give it, but they're not able to do so just yet. Still looking at how spread out the members of these squads are.
And if there's any player to open up on, taking out the flank solo player is the most impactful. I say that O'Connell does give an immediate refrag, but Haxete is there to get the revive. The nade's going to come out to try and finish off the player before that can happen, and Haxete is aware, and so he's going to try and throw a Molotov to defend from the push. But Rafi and Shiv, they're taking center when they're given this opportunity, and now No Tag had the control. It all went away once Shiv got that headshot.
However, big push coming out. This could be Jupezic trying to make a play off of this. Haxete has not had the time to pick up Scoom. Scoom is just left on his knees trying to soak up some information, trying to relay it to his other teammates that are still alive. Shiv, Haxete, and Rafi, all the pressure lays on their shoulders if they want to take down this chicken dinner. A PEL team facing relegation versus a PELC team trying to fight for promotion into phase number 3.
You can see that Shiv was looking towards the buildings in the compound that are still in the circle because, you could never be 100% sure that no one is in there. They haven't seen all 4 members of No Tag yet, and so that awareness may distract them at least a little bit. But in the meantime, Scoom is getting revived. We were worried that they would have to leave him to bleed out, but they are able to remain as 4 up. A couple of nades come out, just trying to fish for something. Gets a little bit close to Jupazic. But in a way, it actually kind of feeds information to No Tag because they can see where the nades are coming from. Not as easy as us. They don't have the trails that we do. But the spray comes out from Arrows. He's going to knock Hacks.
On the edge of the zone, Hacksteady does go down to the Scar spray from no tag team, trying to find a follow-up onto Scoom. The spray certainly coming out, knocking Scoom down to about 30 HP, but the return going to be coming out as Jupezic gets dropped down by Shiv. Shiv once again picking up another knock here, continuing to be such a dominant player for Reciprocity throughout not just phase number 2, but also here in the promo tournament. Still with 3 up, though, as Jupezic continues to bleed out.
Arrows is trying to be a distraction. O'Connell opens up as well. Shiv does go down, but an immediate refrag, an immediate second frag.
Huge game coming in for Reciprocity as they look to continue to put points up on the board. This is one of the squads that was sitting in the top 4 coming into this game. And Cam, it does not look like the Rec Pack wants to go back down into contenders for phase number 3.
Absolutely not. They played very well yesterday at the end of the day. Well, throughout the entirety, but especially towards the end. And they are keeping that alive. They're keeping themselves in the top 4. And with the sort of subpar game from Beşiktaş this time around, this final game, they actually may be stealing first place.
They certainly could be. Beşiktaş dropping out a lot earlier than expected. Some teams kind of having difficulties here on day 2, Cameron, and there could be a few reasons for that, but let's not speculate as to why that could be. Let's talk about some of the other teams.
In this circle, you can't speculate on why anyone.
You certainly can't, yeah.
Those are the games that, sure, you can plan for, but they are so unique and different from any other sort of circle that you can't look at a game like that and think that it spells doom for the rest, for the squad for the rest of the games.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Want to give a big shout out though to the members of 7. They had a pretty dominant performance in that game right there. They had Zoekt and Naam pinched. Unfortunately, Reciprocity just had a monster game. They really put the hurt down on them from across the hill.
Yeah, Reciprocity, I think, played that circle very, very well.
Yeah.
They had to swim across, which already put them on a huge disadvantage, but they played it slow. They didn't, because they had no vehicles, they really had no option, but they just slowly crawled in, slowly took the space while they could, and you can see that they didn't go, even when they had Zoekt and Naam down in their sights, when they were both trying to go up that hill, they didn't go over aggressive on it, because if they committed super hard onto that fight, they would have potentially given up control, just positioning in the circle. Yeah. And so they really timed out when they took their fights and how they did it very, very well, and they come away with the win.
Slow, methodical, strategical play is what Reciprocity needed to pull out here in this game for the victory. Let's see, though, let's hear how it all played out. Mustache Dave on the stage.